So Jo Koy is in the lobby here at Key 102, so we're gonna go get him. All right, let's go. We have to find Joseph. Joseph? Joseph? Saan si Joseph?
Dito.
Hi. Are you really Filipino?
No.
Because you're hella on time,
It's all
dude.
an act.
Well, because you're hella on time, dude.
Oh, thank you.
How are you?
That's because I'm half white.
So,
How are you?
Did you just drive here by yourself?
No, I got a driver.
I was like, where are they? Where is he?
He's in the car.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, that's what drivers do.
No, I
It's
was
a
thinking
surprise.
like an escort or something.
No, I'm good. You're so
Right. Oh,
funny.
I'm Fresca, by the way.
I know.
I'm sorry.
This is the best beginning to an interview.
This is Jo Koy, and I'm chilling with my homegirl, the Filipino Wonder Woman. She smells like lumpia, but she looks like longanisa. What?
What? Longanisa?
I was trying to think of something cute, and all I could think of was longanisa.
All right, in the house, in the building,
Yep.
we got the one and only JoKoy.
Yes.
What?
Finally, I get to meet you.
I know, man. I just bamboozled you in the lobby.
Why the initial, like the first thing you say when we meet is, "Are you really Filipino?" As if I chose a particular race to
No.
be.
Because you were
routine.
hella on time, though. You were hella on time. I
I've
was like,
always
I looked
been
and I was
on
like, wow,
time.
10:30. He's right here right now.
I will never be late for anything.
Wow.
That's how you gotta be.
Give us a good name.
Huh?
Did you give us a good name?
I know. My mom, forget it. My mom my sister is the worst. My mom is really bad at being on time.
So when you tell her,
my mom is 30 minutes late, always. My sister, hour to hour and a half. And I'm not even making that up.
wow.
It's embarrassing.
So when you
And
tell them
she-
you have a show, you tell them it's an hour and a half beforehand.
my
so they're
sister,
on time.
my sister and my mom always make the show on time.
Oh, okay.
Of course, because they get to meet everybody.
Oh, okay.
I'm his mother.
Yeah,
Hi.
yeah.
But all the preparation leading up to the show, late everywhere.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, Mom, meet me for dinner, blah, blah, blah. I'm out here. Okay, I'll be there. And it's always like, okay, I'm on my way, Joseph. I had to pick up nothing.
And she's still at home on the phone call. But
Exactly. Where are you, Mom? I'm on the
she's
freeway.
like eating her balot, like, I'm on my way.
I'm on the freeway. Mom, I hear a TV.
Yeah.
Oh, that's American Idol.
But you guys are really close, though.
Yeah.
And
I've been blessed with a good mom. We fight. I think, you know, if you're not Filipino, I will say this. Filipino moms hold on to grudges for a long time.
hell yeah, they
They
do.
are grudge holders. And my mom will literally, before she dies, will look at me and go, you know I'm not sorry, right?
I can totally see it, too.
Oh, totally.
Hella proud.
She'll proud.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not her fault. You know what I mean? I can't understand why you think this is my fault, Joseph. But, you know, you learn and to love it.
But a lot of, because you talk about your mom in your stand-up.
Yeah.
And actually you have a lot of videos with her.
Because people think I make it up.
Yeah,
People
proof.
really think my routine is just made up. Like, oh, sure, your mom does it. I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's meet my mom. You know what I mean? And you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see the we in her room. You'll see my mom at a buffet. You'll see my mom, the president of the Lions Club. You'll see my mom at a radio station with her own show that I
saw
pay
that.
for. Those aren't jokes. I mean, they're jokes the way I tell the stories,
Yeah.
but it's really happening. That's my mom.
Well,
It's
somebody
just-
asked me on Facebook because I said, hey, you know what? I finally get to meet JoKoy, and I want to
Yeah.
ask him, what do you want me to ask him? And a lot of folks were just like, man, just ask him how his mom's doing. Ask him how his mom's doing.
She's doing great. I bought her a car.
Oh, did you? What kind? Toyota?
She just picked it out. I let my mom do it, so she's got a Chrysler. She won that big Chrysler 300. You know how
Oh,
the
wow.
Filipinos are. It's the Chrysler or the Cadillac or the Mercedes Benz.
Bench. Mercedes bench.
Yeah.
That's what my mom used to call it.
Yeah.
The
I've
Mercedes
been in a
Benz.
good position. Got
Yeah.
my mom a car, got my sister a car, bought my dad a car.
Wow, really?
Yeah, man. Trying to be, you know.
Did you buy
I guess
yourself a car?
I guess I don't want karma to hit me, so I'm trying to pay it off.
But did you buy yourself a car?
I got two.
Oh, okay. That's
I got
cool.
the Tesla.
Oh, do you have a Tesla?
Yeah, I bought the Tesla and I
The
bought
model,
I got
what
a
is it?
G-Wagon. I got the best one.
Nice.
The P85.
The Fee 85.
The P85. Yeah, I got all the cookies. If you're
Right
going to get the
on.
Tesla, just get it. Get everything.
But
You
when
know what I
you-
mean?
when
Because
you
if you buy it and you don't have everything, you're going to be like, I wish I got it. You know?
But when did you when did you really start? So how long have you been doing comedy?
25 years.
Really?
Started in 1989. People didn't even know I was Filipino when I started. I was doing black comedy shows.
Yeah. What
No
do
one
they
even
think?
knew that. I used to open for Chappelle, Snoop Dogg, Ludacris. I won the Apollo, Showtime at the Apollo. I
Did you
BET's
really?
Comic View. I was on Def Comedy Jam
Yes.
tour. I was on all that. No one even knew. No one knew where I came from. Like, I didn't want anyone to know I was Asian yet. Like, I was telling people I was Asian, but I didn't want to do Asian shows.
Oh.
I wanted to keep myself away from that. I wanted to like
And that
attack
was
the other
because-
markets first because I wanted to show people I was just funny.
Right.
I didn't
Not
want
funny
people
for an
to-
Asian guy.
Yeah,
or
I
funny
didn't
for a
want people
Filipino
to be
guy.
like, oh, you're not going to get his jokes because you're not Filipino. I wanted to be like, no, I'm going to kill all these shows. You know what I mean? And then you're going to find
you
out
have.
who I am. Yeah. When I did the Tonight Show, same thing.
I know.
mean,
So when you started doing all these, like, you've been on some really high profile.
I held out too on those too.
Oh, so they've asked you
There's
before
a
and you
lot
said
of
no.
shows where I was supposed to do like the Kims of comedy.
Yeah.
With and I turned that down. I was working 3 jobs. I needed that gig, but I turned it down. And
Wow. 3
it
jobs.
Was Dr. Ken, Bobby Lee, Steve Byrne, and myself, and they wanted to call it the Kims of comedy on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
And I was like, why am I going to do that show when I can do a whole hour by myself and get my own hour on Comedy Central? So I turned it down and I didn't do it. And I remember
Were they
kicking
upset at
myself.
you?
They were like, no, they weren't upset. Bobby was just like, why aren't you doing it? I told him. And then he got it. You know what I mean? And it's just like my dream was to have my own hour, not to have a theme show and only geared towards Asians. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
wanted
because you get
everybody to
pigeonholed in
get
that
it.
kind of stuff, too.
Yeah, I wanted everyone to see it. So I was kicking myself when they went on tour. They were making a ton of money, and it was a successful special, and I was still working at Nordstrom Rack. You know what I mean? Stacking books at Borders Books, and I was just like, oh, this sucks.
Wow.
But a couple years later, I got my own special, so it paid out.
So how was it when you got that call? Like,
When
hey,
I finally got the special,
Yeah.
it was beautiful. I actually got it from right when I got off stage. I was opening for a comic, and the president of Comedy Central was there, and he gave it to me.
Wow.
He goes, you ain't got your special yet? I go, no. He goes, you got one now? And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
It was finally, I called everybody.
So how far into your career did that happen?
Oh my God. Oh man. 15 years,
Wow.
15, 16 years. I wanted to die, man. I was like I wanted to quit, but my mom kept telling me, oh, Joseph, get a better job. Like, it's
Yeah.
not paying the bills. But she didn't know that's what I wanted to do,
But yeah, so
She wanted me to be a nurse, you know what I mean?
that's not
Be a nurse.
That's
Your-
a surprise.
Your uncle is a mailman, Joseph. He can get you a job.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but that's so. How did you not give in to? Because
That's what I knew I wanted to be a comic when I was 10. So it wasn't the fact that I wanted the money. It was just like I was living my dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was performing at coffee houses for $50. You know what I mean? And I was happy. You know what I mean? Because I had my part-time job and I'm getting $50 here, and then I go over here, I get $100 there, and you know what I mean? It all added up. So I was successful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all this other stuff was just a bonus for me.
wow.
So, but I had to wait. I had to wait it out. So
Yeah, I think a lot of people have that misconception of like, okay, now you're here, but then they don't see the
work.
the years of work that you put in,
Yeah.
and don't realize that.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm telling you, it was a long, long journey, man. And I did a lot of things that I pat myself on the back for. You know what I mean? Because it was a risk, but I knew it was going to work out because I believed in the stand up. I knew that if I went to these markets like Omaha and Kansas City when I first started, that I would build that market up.
Yeah.
And they would appreciate the stand-up and not just me going in there and just trying to capture all the Asian people that live in Omaha. You know what I mean?
Right.
So now my fan base in Omaha, there's hardly any Asian. When I go to Nashville, there's no Asians. You know what I mean? And
that's cool.
So, but that was a long, long journey.
Because well, I guess because you already had that vision of how you wanted to be recognized
Yeah.
or appreciated.
When Chelsea and I met, we met.
Yeah, how did that happen?
We met 8 years ago, or maybe 9, and we met through John Lovitz. I was opening for John Lovitz.
Oh.
And John was friends with Chelsea. And he was like, you got to meet Chelsea. She's hysterical. and this is back when MySpace was out or something
Oh,
like
my
that,
gosh.
right?
Friendster? No
Yeah,
Friendster
or something
for
like
that?
that. It was like MySpace.
Yeah.
And he's like, she's my only friend on MySpace. And then next thing you know, she's on the shows with us, and she loved me, man. She was like, I want you to be my Asian sidekick. She just got the show deal with E.
Yeah.
And she goes, I want you to be my Asian sidekick. Like, I'll go to you and I'll send you on the road and you do all these interviews and I'll, it'll just be you and I.
Yeah,
and we'll do
yeah.
the show. And I said, no, I turned it down. And that's another thing that I did, because I knew if I would have taken that role, I wouldn't be able to be me later.
Wow.
So I said no to it. And I remember her cursing me out on the phone, and this is the biggest mistake you'll ever make, blah, 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 just yelling at me. Like, I should have recorded it, because it'd be worth some money right now. Because she called me every word in the book, and she was so pissed, because I went to a couple meetings with her on it, and you know what I mean? We had it all planned out, and I turned it out, and I just told her, I was like, I have like
a vision.
There's something I want to do, you know what I mean? Like, and that show got picked up. I was still at Nordstrom Rack when that show got picked up. And I was just like, man, is this, because I had my son, and I'm like, is this really happening? Like, you know what I mean? She started blowing up, and I'm sitting at home like, I said no to this. And then next, like 3 months into it, or 4 months into the show, I get the call from her, and she put me on, but not as the sidekick, but as to be a panel regular. And I was on it every week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was literally like my own TV, like not mine, but her show, but I was like a weekly guest.
Yes,
so people started, and then our banter and all that, people started.
And it was organic.
It was organic.
So,
that's what made that show so good,
yeah.
man. Like the first 3-4 years was just like Josh Wolf and Lonnie Love and Heather and Sarah and myself and Ben Glebe and Bobby. Like, man, those were great, man. It was just because that, like, we literally started that show off by writing in the green room, together, and then Chelsea just had this. This is the genius behind Chelsea. She knew that there was something there when she didn't know our jokes. You know what I mean? So like when at the beginning of that show when it started, she used to come in and hear our jokes. You know what I mean? And listen, what do you got for that? What do you got for that?
Oh, okay.
And then she noticed that when she didn't come in, that there was that room to engage because she wasn't expecting it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So it's very more spontaneous.
Yeah.
And that
then,
organic part of it.
Exactly. So then what happened is she stopped coming. And then we stopped writing, like literally, like I wrote, but I would literally just write the idea down and then maybe a punch for one of the jokes. But then I knew that Chelsea was going to engage somehow. So I was always ready for that. And that's what made that show the way it was.
That's chemistry, though, man.
It was great, man. I'm telling you, man. It was unbelievable. And that's what took my demo to that next level, because when you made it on Chelsea, if you were funny on Chelsea, it showed on the road. Back in the day when Johnny, if you were funny on Johnny, you were big on the road. And that's the same thing with Chelsea. Like, you killed on Chelsea, forget about it on the road. People were coming to see you, and they came, man.
And you know how, like, being Filipino,
Yeah.
it's like, and he's Filipino. And,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, it's like, everyone wants to claim you.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
So true.
And everyone's your cousin because we're all related. Oh, yeah, that's my boy, man.
I got
That's
so
my boy,
many
Jo Koy.
kuyas. I got so many titas. I got so many everything. They're all coming out of the woodwork now.
So how did you get JoKoy?
JoKoy is
Jo
from my
Koy.
aunt, my cousin Mona. She's like my best friend, my cousin Mona, and well, she is my best friend. And then, well, I shouldn't say that because my sister's listening. But Mona, her mom, my Auntie Evelyn, she gives us all these
Messed
weird
up Filipino nicknames.
Man. She gives everybody nicknames. So Mona, her nickname is Gay, so everyone calls her Gay. Mona Gay. Lisa. Mona Lisa Gay. So I call her Gay. Everybody calls her Gay. And then my Auntie Lynn, who is actually really gay, she called her Langoy. But her name was Lynn, and and she called her Langoy. And then my Auntie Belle.
I love these right now.
Oh, yeah, we got a ton of them. And then my Auntie Belle, my Annabelle, she calls her Bang Bang, Tita Bang.
Oh,
so
man,
we all call her Bang.
I'm close to that one.
Yeah.
Mine's
and then,
Bam Bam.
See, it's crazy, right? And then mine was JoKoy, and I don't even know where it came from, JoKoy. And when I first started stand-up, back in the day, like, God, 89, 90, I used to do open mics, and, when you're doing open mics, they're just trying to find anything funny. And my real name is Joseph Herbert.
Okay.
So I used to go up as Joseph Herbert, and of course, everyone would laugh at my name, and then the MC would make fun of my name. Then I was just like, dude, I can't even get to my jokes because I'm defending my name. And I was literally sitting there trying to figure out what my name's going to be with Mona. I remember this like yesterday. We were just sitting in the living room, and then we were like, what should we call ourselves? Just change your name. Like, call yourself Glenn Joseph because my middle name
Oh,
is
yeah,
Glenn.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, my Auntie Evelyn popped around the corner. She goes, JoKoy, let's eat. And then Mona looked at me. She goes, JoKoy. Call yourself JoKoy. Because the way my aunt says it, she doesn't say it like that. You know how they say it, JoKoy. It doesn't even sound fun.
Like Okoy.
So that's where it came from. So that's where the name came from, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that. Because I was gonna ask you like, but that didn't come when you were really like a young kid. That was.
Yeah, that came. Well, the nickname was always there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the nickname was always there. But when I started my stand-up, I didn't ever think to use my nickname.
So did you?
I don't think anyone would if your nickname was JoKoy.
But
who would want to use that damn name?
But because when my friends would call my house, it was one of the most embarrassing things.
Yeah.
And they'd call, and my real name's Francis or Frances.
Yeah.
So they'd, they'd call, hi, is Francis there? And then my parents would be like, oh, si Frances? Okay, hold on. Who's this? Michelle. Okay, hold on. Bam Bam, si Michelle. I'm like,
that's so funny.
God. And then I'd get on the phone, and then they'd be like,
Bam
dude,
Bam.
did your parents just call you Bam Bam?
Why is your name
did you ever
Bam
get that?
Bam?
Like, dude, did your parents just call you JoKoy?
No. They all liked it. Everyone liked it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, my American friends were just like, the hell? What?
Yeah.
Like, the Filipino kids, they'd be like, okay, yeah, whatever.
There's
But they know
that
I'd have
name
something
again.
on them.
I don't know why we can't just have our regular names.
Oh, yeah, I have cousins, Ding Dong,
Yeah.
Ling Ling,
Yeah.
Tootsie,
Yeah.
Bong Bong,
We got all of them.
Ning Ning. But dude, Ding Dong, I'm like, oh, and then my aunt named my daughter, or not my sister's daughter, his name is Natalie, but she calls her Taleng.
Taleng. That's so funny. That's so true. They do that. I don't know. Don't even name us those names then. Why are you giving us names for?
Yeah, I don't know. But so your mom used to enter you in like...
Everything. My mom used to always be in Filipino associations. Every single one. So we lived in Tacoma. Especially when we came up, there were hardly any Asians, out there. You know what I mean? Like when I came up in the 80s.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it is now. These kids don't even know. Like now everyone's brown.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Now
Yeah.
you have role models on TV. You have the Jabberwockies. You have Bruno Mars. You
Yep.
have Apple to App. You have Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Imagine in the 80s, you didn't have anything.
Yeah, no,
there
we
were
didn't.
no Asians anywhere. So my mom, when my mom and dad divorced, she was looking for friends, and she would enter these not enter, but join these Filipino associations just so she can, mingle with other
Yeah.
Filipinos. And they would always do events, you know what I mean? There was always some event that they would throw, man. Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving parties. And of course, my mom would always enter her kids. It wasn't in a contest.
Like a talent show or something,
Well,
right?
no,
Or-
just as talent. Like, we were the entertainment, like, for these parties. And my sister, at the time, my sister could sing. She would kill it back then. And then I would dance. So that's how that all went down. My mom was a talent booker for these parties, and we did every single one, man. My sister was a little superstar. She should have been the first, man.
Yeah.
My sister would have been, if she would have been more focused, man, she would have been huge, man. She was so good. She was ahead of her time, my sister.
Wow.
She could sing, man.
So
But-
do you think that what your mom did
Yeah,
helped you,
indirectly
like,
molded me.
shaped what you're, prepare you for
Well, she never
all
knew
of
I wanted to
this?
be a comedian, but her getting me in front of people, totally broke that ice. You know what I mean? That wall went down fast. So I was ready. I was ready to get in front of people and perform. My sister always wanted me to be a comic, so you know what I mean? Indirectly, she would tell me. She would always go, "Oh, you're funnier than him." Yeah, you're funnier than him. And then, but my sister used to perform in Vegas. Like, she would do all these lounges, and then she started bringing me up to sing
that's
with
cool.
her, and then that broke the wall.
Yeah, because you could sing.
Not really.
Yeah, you
My
can.
sister
I heard
can.
the whole R&B stuff that you do.
Yeah,
Sing
yeah,
something.
yeah. My sister can. I can't sing.
Yeah, you can.
No.
Oh my God, let me see. What did you sing? What did I hear you sing? You
I
did
can't.
some Jodeci. You sang
Jodeci.
some Blackstreet.
Blackstreet. Yes.
Man, you
Those
do.
are-
You
those are the
can.
guys right
did you
there.
get some? You got some karaoke practice or what?
Karaoke. No.
Because I
My
mean,
sister really sang with a band, so we didn't have karaoke. She was karaoke. She was no joke.
do you have a karaoke machine at home?
I don't, but my sister has 3. My mom has
Because every time
2.
you go to a Filipino party, I mean,
Yeah.
everyone's singing.
They buy
Someone's
a
singing
karaoke
something.
machine because there's this one song that's not on that one.
So I'm pulling up my
This
Facebook.
one doesn't have Greatest Love of All.
Yeah. So Lowell Sarmiento wanted to ask you if you still play Wii with your mom. Game over.
Game over. No, we stopped. My mom doesn't play anymore.
Why?
Because it's old, but she still has it set up. It's funny. If you walk into my mom's house, it's right next to the dining room table.
Yeah.
She has her own little TV and her Wii and everything. It's funny.
What does she like to play?
You know what's funny?
What?
Is my son went online and, these electronic fly swatters.
They have those?
They have these fly swatters that look like tennis rackets, and you don't even have to really like
Swat it.
kill it.
Uh-huh.
You just barely touch it, and it shocks. It zaps the
fly.
the fly, and it's a tennis racket. And there's a company that wrote "Game Over" on the tennis, and I was like,
really?
"Yo, you owe me money." And then
Royalties.
there's these tongs. There's these tongs,
Yeah.
and it says they're called ting ting tongs, and I'm like, "Yo, you owe me money on
See?
that."
Because they be trying to capitalize on your
see how
stuff.
they do it.
Oh, they want to ask you somebody, Duke Obob says to make sure you don't put rupee in your coffee.
Rupee.
Yeah.
That's my mom used to always say that to me.
Was your
Stop
mom really
drinking
concerned?
with strangers. They're going to put a drug in there. And you're going to pass out. Like that.
But would she really be concerned about?
Heck yeah! You think my mom's making that up? I used to do this joke about keys in my hand.
Uh-huh.
And my mom goes, when you walk to your car, Joseph, put your keys in between your fingers. And if they try and get you, you can punch them like that. And I'm like, I'm never doing that, Mom. And then one day I was walking to my car and I was like, let me put these keys in my
Did you really?
hand.
I've done that too.
Who
I've done
does
that
it? I was driving a Honda. You know how long those keys are? That's definitely going to kill somebody.
But
My mom has given me so many jokes. It's so funny, dude. I just listened to her and I'm
but I
like,
think
oh,
that's
that's going to be funny.
that's what's really cool though, is that you don't have to make anything up. It's like it's
Yeah.
real stuff.
It's real. The one the one that I'm talking about now, her doing the radio show. I do that now, and it's just like when I get off stage, I get the same response. You're making that up. Your mom's not a DJ. And then I literally had to take a film crew to my mom's.
I saw that on YouTube.
Yeah, I had to, and it's just like because people think I make it up.
And she
It's like-
called you Joseph,
Yeah,
not
she
Jo
called
Koy.
me. Yeah, she calls me Joseph. No, when there's cameras, she enunciates the word correctly. She always does that. Joseph.
Oh, no.
This is my son, Joseph. Because she knows we're recording. But boy, once that camera's up, Joseph, why do you say that about my purse? Don't tell people about the purse.
But do you think that people always expect you to be funny? Like even when you're not on stage?
I want them to.
Yeah?
Because I am.
You totally are, but it's kind of like,
I love it. Me and my John love it. We had that same conversation, and he was like, we were like, he said to me, he goes, I don't understand how people don't see the funny in things. And then he goes, because that's all I see. That's what he said to me. He goes, it's just
interesting.
how I see it. And he goes, when I talk and I see an opportunity for a joke, I say it, but I don't think about it. It just comes out of my mouth. And I'm like, I'm the same way. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not sitting here looking at you right now going, what's my next joke? It's just when I see it, it's like double Dutch. It's like, I know when I'm going to hit it and I know when it's going to come out of my mouth. It's just, I don't control it. Like,
it's just part of you.
It really is. Like, I'll go on stage. Last night I did 2 hours and literally 45 minutes was just improvising with the crowd.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And it's a gamble that you have to take. But that's the only way I can sharpen my skills. You know what I mean? Like that's how I get good.
But I think that's what a real, and that might be kind of mean, but I mean, really, that's what a real comic should be able to do.
I think so. You know what I mean? And I love all comedy. So like I don't like to disrespect any of the comedians because I'll watch a prop comic, I'll watch a puppet comic, I'll watch a political comic. I don't care. Funny's funny to me. I hate it when people judge or hate on somebody. You know what I mean? And but I feel like you're funny for a reason. There's things that you do that are funny and when I'm on stage, I like to do that. Plus, I get a lot of repeats. I got people that are tweeting, this is my 6th time seeing you, my 10th time.
Oh, wow.
So I can't go up there and do the same routine from 2012. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I gotta give them something new. Make it feel like it's their show. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
yeah. So you have a show so you were at the San Jose Improv last night, but you have a few more shows over the weekend. So
yeah,
let's
I
talk
got
about
4
that.
more left. It's the last of 10. I did 10 out here.
Really?
I did 10 shows.
Wow.
It's crazy, right?
And you sold them all out.
I sold them all out. Yeah.
So are there any left for?
I think you
this
could try
weekend?
for the early show tonight. I think there's a few, but everything else is sold out. Last night was crazy.
Wow.
Not a seat left.
Man, but I mean, it's like, that's not, but that's normal for you though. That's such a trip. Like when you think about like, man, you know, from coffee houses to like,
Yeah.
you know, all these sold out shows. Like
It was
that's
a long grind.
yeah, it's 25 years.
You should have seen what I did. Man, if
Yeah.
you would have known me back in the day, oh my God. I mean, like in Vegas, I used to rent theaters. You know what I mean? I used to rent theaters. I would solicit advertisement so I can get money to fly comics out.
Oh wow.
I made my own tickets. I sold my own tickets. I wore every single hat, and then I would still perform on stage. It was nuts, man. You can ask Bobby next time if you ever do an interview with Bobby. Ask him.
Yeah.
Ask him where he was 19 years ago when JoKoy flew him out to Vegas to perform in front of 25 people.
Was it really?
Yeah. But I made 400 seats because I thought 400 students were gonna come.
Oh wow.
So I put 400 seats out. I was like, yo, it's going to be packed tonight, Bobby Lee and I. And man, maybe 20 people came. And most of them was just like my mom, my dad,
Some relatives.
my sister. It was bad.
Their
But
friends.
we still went up because that's what you did, man.
Yeah.
You didn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You do
so
it because you love it.
I did it because I loved
know?
it, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And I'm excited to see the show too.
Yeah. You know,
So-
I have beef about that show too. I'm going to say it right now.
Why?
Because that was like 20 years ago, and I was just starting, and I went to UNLV,
Okay.
and my cousin was going to school there, and we went to the Filipino Student Association because if I can get a student association
Yeah. To support.
to rent out the
Oh.
theater for me, it would only be like $20 because they're students. They do that for students.
Yeah.
But if you're not a student there, it would cost you like $600. So I was begging them. I was like, please, like I'm Filipino and white. Bobby Lee is Korean, and you know I had another guy that was on the show that was Filipino. His name was God, I can't remember his name. But anyways, I had 4 guys and they were all ethnic. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I was like, this would be a great show to bring to the school, and you guys will back it and say that it's yours and blah blah blah. And they were like, yeah, we'll get back to you. And then they said no.
Wow.
And I was like,
Why
wow,
would
that
they?
was
That's
foul,
kinda weird.
man. And then this girl I was dating at the time, white girl, she had a friend that was in a fraternity, and he was like, I'll do it. And it was just a bunch of white dudes. So that's the reason why I hit 20, like I had 25 people there. Because they all came, the fraternity came.
Oh,
So
wow.
all these white dudes came, and they brought like their girlfriends. It was the craziest thing. And I was
Wow.
like, wow, man, thank you for supporting this.
Yeah.
And I was so mad. I had so much beef with those Filipinos, man.
Yeah, that's
But
a
I
trip.
think that's kind of pushed me. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, you'll see. You know what I mean? Watch. You're going to see what's going to happen. You're going to be like, yo, I should have signed that contract for Joe. You know what I mean? So he could have done that show.
That's a trip.
Those are those little fires that burn you, you know what I mean? And that's why you like you go after things a little bit more aggressively and you go, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like watch, they're gonna I remember that too. I was like, I was so mad. You don't understand
Yeah,
how mad
no,
I
I
was.
get
I was
it.
like offended too. I was like, dude, I even gave him I went to Kinko's and made this beautiful portfolio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did it so professional, and I was so angry, man. But I'm glad. I'm glad I am where I am today.
That's what I was just
and
gonna
I know
say.
they're kicking themselves because they know who I am.
Yeah.
They all do.
Yeah, no, I mean,
That makes me feel so good when I see an ex-girl that did me wrong and they come to my show.
is that whole like sweetest revenge kind of thing?
Oh, it feels so good. I had this one girl come up to me at the end of the show at the Mirage. I sold
Yeah.
out the Mirage, right?
Wow. How
And,
many people? How many people was that?
It's like 1,700. It's where Boys and Men play. It was
Oh,
hot,
yeah, yeah,
right? And it was sold out, and she was the usher there.
Oh!
She was the usher, and she still had the same haircut.
Oh no!
Like she still had the same bob haircut, and I was like, oh, snap. It was so funny. I went to the top of the staircase because I wanted to watch the show from the back of the room. And she goes, Joe? And I just turned, I go, oh my God. I don't want to say her name, but I was just like, oh, what's up? She's like, I'm so happy for you. I always knew you were going to make it. I was like, yeah, I knew you would. I knew you were going to remember this day.
Oh, wow.
Because I remember that. I was like, what?
That was that look on her face.
You should have seen it. She had tears in her eyes.
Did she really?
Of course.
For sincere happiness?
Yo, she did me so wrong.
What did she do?
You deserve it.
Oh, no.
No, you don't deserve it. I'm joking. But I'm just saying, it felt good.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I remember back then how I felt. And I remember saying that to myself. I was like, she's going to kick herself? Watch. She's going to be like, I used to date him. I used to date.
Does she have old pictures of you together?
Of course, I'm pretty sure she does. It's funny, man.
Throwback
People
Thursday.
hit me on Facebook and be like, yo, Joe.
I know.
Long time. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be even longer.
Wow. So, are you a basketball fan?
I love basketball. Why? Because
So,
the Warriors?
because obviously it's a really
I'm
big
gonna
deal
go.
for us. Yeah?
Yeah, 'cause I have no team to identify with because I'm from Seattle, so my Sonics are gone. So for the past, 3 years, I've been attaching myself to OKC because of Durant, because, he played for Seattle. And then of course, the Clippers because I live in LA. And I hate the Lakers. So
Yes.
So, but I'm not really. There's no heart behind it. So like, it just sucks because my team is gone.
Yeah.
The Sonics. But so I told my son, I was like, we need to see this because it's kind of like history being made right now. LeBron's doing his 5th straight. No one's ever done it, and he went to Cleveland and took this team to the finals.
Yeah.
Like that
This is
says
first
something
year,
for
right?
that man. That's amazing. And then of course Steph is just
Amazing.
I don't know. I think he's an alien. I don't even think he's from this world. I'm not even joking. The shots he makes are just ridiculous, and any man that fell on the back of their head like that should have been out for a year.
I know, man. He came back during the game.
Came back and just went at him, man. So this is going to be a great series. They got it heavily favored for the Warriors. I think it's like 75% on the poll that they're going to win. Yeah. I'm going to be. I hope you guys don't hate me. I really feel like Cleveland might have this.
What?
Man.
A lot of folks. Somebody was asking here on.
I don't know, man. Them some big boys down there in Cleveland. They are some big boys that don't care. They don't care.
We got a lot of heart, man. We got a lot of talent,
no,
though.
you guys got more than heart. You ain't got to sell me on it. Are you kidding me? You guys are amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. There's something about that LeBron James.
All right, we'll see. Yeah, he's a big dude. He's a big
King
dude.
James, homie.
Never know. But okay, one more thing. So Mylene,
Don't send hate mail.
Mylene Ikmat. She said,
That's a great name.
I saw his show at Thunder Valley and I had a great time. It's Lupus Awareness Month.
Yes.
And she wants to know how your sister's doing.
She's doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's flaring up again. But she's good. My sister is Filipino, so she's full, you know what I mean? 'Cause she's my full sister. I'm half because my mom remarried.
Yeah.
And but yeah, she's got that Filipino mentality where she just doesn't care about the disease.
Eats
You know
whatever she
what I
wants.
mean? Where she just doesn't care. And like we warn her, it's like you got to stop drinking that because she's
this the
addicted
sister
to
that
Dr.
sings?
Pepper. Yeah. She's addicted to Dr. Pepper. I'm like, you got to stop drinking it, Ween. Like, you have lupus,
Yeah.
and that's part of the reason why you have these flare-ups. You got to start drinking healthier stuff.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? And we let her do it, man. She's something else, man. She walks around with sunglasses on. Everyone thinks my sister's weird because she has sunglasses on.
But she wears them because
They're prescription sunglasses, and her eyes are fully dilated, and they won't go back.
Oh,
Because of her
really?
lupus, yeah.
Wow.
So she has to wear. They have to, because if it's bright, she'll have like migraines. So
Oh, wow.
she wears sunglasses all the time. But everyone thinks my sister's being Hollywood. But I don't tell anybody. I let them think that it's funny, man. Oh, is this your sister? Like, yeah, it's her. She's being a little Hollywood right now.
Well, I'm glad that you guys could joke about that because
Yeah.
it's like.
Oh, she don't care. She loves it. She loves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She knows I'm there for
So
her.
are you going to be doing
I
any?
raised almost $100,000 for the awareness. For
Okay, yeah,
lupus.
because that's what she was just asking if he has any events,
Yeah.
lupus events in the Bay coming up. Do you have any?
I mean, we won't do any events. We might throw another. Like in LA, I do them all the time. You know what I mean? Because it's just easier for me because I'm always on the road.
Yeah.
So to come to San Francisco, even though it's just a it's an hour flight. But
Yeah.
for me, being at the airport is,
Yeah.
something I do every week, twice a week to be exact. And so it's kind of hard, you know what I mean? So on my day off, I'd rather just do it in LA. So I do the events in LA a lot. So
Okay, that's
yeah,
great.
I always do everything with Apple.
That's cool.
Apple's my inspiration, man. I love that guy.
Yeah,
He's,
I got to cook adobo with him.
Did you?
Yeah.
He's great. We
Yeah.
raised $10,000
Yes.
in Vegas, so we donated that to the Philippines to build schools.
Oh, nice.
It was so funny. I was like, "Hey, man, just do my show." And he goes, I'll donate to your foundation. And he goes, "All right, it's $5,000 for one school." I go, "All right, do it. Bet. Just do the show." He goes, "All right, I'll do it." And then I go, "All right, I'll buy a school too." So I added 5 more thousand. So so that
That's
was
nice
fun.
because you definitely give back. So
He's the man, dude. Like, I didn't know he was that big of a fan until and this happened years ago. This is like, oh my God. This is before any special. This is when I used to make a DVD at home on iMovie.
oh yeah,
And I would take my Apollo set and my BET set and I splice it all together with like some home videos.
Yeah.
And I used to sell those for like $5. Like, I was on that
Oh
hustle.
wow,
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
I would do that. And
hustling
I
hard.
was still working at Nordstrom Rack and Borders Book.
And Borders.
Slanging these DVDs. And I got the sleeves from Blockbuster Videos because they
Wow.
were throwing them away in the back.
Oh wow!
And
So you
I
were
made
digging
friends
in
with the manager. And I was like, "Yo, don't throw them away. Give them to me so I can put my DVDs in there."
Hey, do what you got to do.
Yeah, man. And then and so my friend was dancing for the Black Eyed Peas, right, on tour, and he's like, "Yo, Apple's like your biggest fan, dude." I'm like, "What?" I go, "You're kidding me." So I went out. I just happened to do a show where they were performing, and he took me backstage.
That's cool.
And we went to the bus, and Fergie was on the bus, right? And she's like, "Yo, Apple, all he watches is comedy." You know what I mean? Like, he's got every single comedy DVD on the bus, but the only one he ever watches is that one right there. And it's the bootleg one I made, my home video.
Wow.
And he goes, "That's funny." Oh, can you bleep that out?
Yeah, yeah.
He goes, "That's funny. Yo, I can't stop laughing at this stuff, man." It was all bootleg stuff,
Wow.
man. And
That must
it was
have
in a
been
stack
kind
of
of
DVDs.
flattering.
Yeah, it was humbling.
You
I was
know?
like, "Whoa, this is crazy." And we've been friends ever since. And then that's how I met, Taboo. But I've known them. Like, I knew of them and we've met before, but we never became friends, you know what I mean? Because they're from LA, dude.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, we all knew them. And so I was always friends with Taboo and all them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, certain events, we always knew each other. Like,
Yeah.
they knew who I was and I knew who they were. But I didn't know it was like that. Like, he was on the tour bus laughing at my stuff like that.
That's so
you know what I
cool.
mean? It was
Yeah.
really cool. And it's been kind of great. Now I'm Taboo's son's godfather.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You're like, how did that happen?
Riding around with Apple. Yo, it's crazy. Apple's really nice. He said some nice things about me. He's like, "Thanks for what you do for the Filipinos, man. You're an inspiration." I'm like, "Yo, dude, you're a Black Eyed Pea, right?"
But
What
but
are
it's
you
true
talking
though.
about, man?
You guys both are in that position to.
That was really
to
nice
make a
of him to say
difference,
that,
so.
man. I was like, "What? All right, thank you, I guess."
No, but it's true though. It's true.
Got to keep doing it, I guess. Grinding.
Yep. And thanks for coming by with your back all messed up and
Hurts, man.
so.
I don't like to take drugs.
You pull one out.
I don't like to take that stuff. Do you? No, right? I try and just go through it without doing it. Like, I got it in my hand, but I won't take it.
What is
I'll
it?
throw it away. I don't know. Something. I don't know.